history, there's a contemporary of Freud, Paul Federn, first talked about different parts, and he called them ego states. And he didn't build a therapy around it. Several other people have built therapies around his idea of personality. Transactional analysis was built on Federn's ideas. Ego state therapy was built on Federn's ideas by Watkins. I started building resource therapy a number of years ago. For a while I called them ego states, but it differs quite a bit from ego state therapy. Ego state therapy uses hypnosis. Resource therapy doesn't use hypnosis. Hypnosis could be used with it, but it doesn't need it. And resource therapy compared to ego state therapy also is a lot more defined, and there's eight specific pathologies with resource therapy, and there's a treatment regimen for each pathology, and practically everything in the DSM can be brought into one of those 8 pathologies with a defined treatment regimen.
Okay, so when you're talking about the pathologies, is this what we've got up here?
Yes.
Do you want to talk us through this?
These are the 8 pathologies. There are 4 pathologies that I call dated states, and they are unwanted feelings. So if a client comes in saying that they have an emotional reaction that they don't like, they have anxiety, they have fear, they feel I'm not good enough, they have a confusion that they can't get over that causes them to ruminate and think about something over and over again, or if they're depressed, they have a disappointment about something. Those are all unwanted feelings, and there's specific regimens for each type of unwanted feeling in resource therapy. There are retro states also. Those are dated states. Retro states have unwanted behaviors, and if somebody's doing something they wish they didn't do, if they're going into rage, if they're gambling, if they have OCD, if they're doing any behavior, shopping behavior, eating behavior, that they wish they didn't do, it's coming from a retro state. A retro state is a state that does something that other states wish it didn't do. And there can be retro-original states that learn their behavior from childhood, and there's also retro-avoiding states that avoid these negative feelings up here by doing something like gambling or OCD or self-harming behavior or shopping behavior. So retro-avoiding states are trying to help the personality by avoiding these negative feelings. Also, there are two other pathological states, conflicted states, that are the person's feeling an internal conflict over time or something, like one part wants to work, one part wants to rest, one part wants to sleep, one part wants to think. Those are conflicted states that we have regimens for, and dissonant states. And dissonant states are states that are the wrong state to be at. A good example of a dissonant state is someone trying to play a sport, and they've got a state that really wants to win, but it's not the state that is the player, the state that can really play and enjoy playing. And that applies not only to sport, but to anything in life. When you don't have your best resource out, then the resource that is out is called dissonant. It's just not the right one. So we can localize practically anything that a client comes into one of those 8 pathologies, and we have distinct regimens for each pathology.